So today I listened to the Symposium by Plato, and let me tell you, it was definitely much better than I remember it. Um, this was actually one of the first philosophical works that I've ever read, and I guess I just didn't get it because going through it a second time was really, really helpful. And I think as it comes to Plato and his works, I think it really encapsulates a lot of the ideas that he thinks are important. So basically, a symposium, is a group of men who all take turns getting drunk and making speeches on whatever the topic is. And this particular topic was love. They were going to give praise to the God of love and explain love and go about talking about it. This time they decided they wouldn't get drunk. I think a few of them were actually hungover or something from the night before, and they decided they would stay sober. So basically, this series of speeches begins, and people are talking about love, about the God of love, and praising him, and talking all this good talk about love. A few speeches goes by, and Aristophanes begins. And Aristophanes basically says that people were eventually, at one point, fused together. There was a neuter gender which had both male and female, and that particular species of person was getting too powerful, and they were defying the gods. So the gods split them up, and they became male and female, and these male and female individuals obviously came together, and that's what love is these people coming together and fighting each other. So this neuter species was the male and female, and then there was actually the same species of male and male together, female and female together, and that's how they explain, to some extent, same-sex attraction, I guess. Aristophanes, his speech was pretty significant, though. People praise it for being literarily good and attractive work of art. So then Agathon, he starts to speak, and Agathon basically praises the God of love in the most fervent possible way. He says that the God is very good, very lovable. He basically says that basically the God of love is the best, and praises. And then Socrates goes up, and Socrates said something that I thought was kind of funny. He said, I was under the assumption that at the beginning of this symposium that we were going to talk about things that were true. I didn't realize that we were just going to say whatever we wanted to. And so basically he was saying that what everyone else was saying was false. So Socrates goes and says love, or the God of love, love in the ethereal sense, is not good, and it's not beautiful, because love is a desire of that which is good and a desire of that which is beautiful. And if something desires a thing, it means that they don't have it. So the desire of good means they don't have good, they want good. And this good that they're looking for, that love is seeking after, is in some ways, even if the person has it, not secure. Because even if someone has riches and they want riches, they desire riches, they don't want what they have. They want what they have to be forever. They want a permanence of what they have. So love is, as Plato says, the love or the desire for something eternally. So they want good things eternally. That's what love is. And we can't do that. So Socrates says that love is the generation of things. He explains that procreation, having children, is love, because you want to be eternal, you want to be immortal, you want to have good things forever, and you can't do that. So having kids is kind of your way of being eternal. He also says that fame is this way. People will lose their lives to become famous. That way they can gain this immortality. And he also explains that investing in a beautiful soul, that is, teaching, a pupil. This is the idea of platonic love, an older, wiser individual taking on a pupil. In this era, there was a lot of weird sexuality that went on between teachers and students, and Socrates doesn't seem to be hitting on that. Particularly later, we find this out when one of these attractive young students tries to get sexually involved with Socrates, and he basically has none of it. So, love goes in the spectrum of loving a person to particular physical attributes of the person to moral traits of the person, but eventually the idea of love is to transcend all that and to love beauty itself. And this is kind of reminiscent of the good in Plato's Republic. We're trying to go to set our minds on the most prime, the most ethereal, the form of beauty, the form of good. And that's what love seeks. Love seeks to transcend the physical world and things that we see to things that we can't see. That is ethereal, the forms of good and beauty. So I definitely didn't catch that my first time around. So after Socrates is done talking, some crazy guy named Alcibiades comes in, and he is super drunk, and he is, I guess, someone who was kind of shunned, spurned, whatever the word is, by Socrates, and he's not happy about it. So he kind of, in some reasoning that has to do with getting Socrates in trouble with the host of the party, decides to present this speech that praises Socrates. And basically he explains how he used to love Socrates, and Socrates would not respond to his sexual advances and stuff like that. But something that I found really interesting was this speech by Alcibiades seems to really resonate with the Greek culture of hero worship. We see this in Homer, in how the heroes of Homer were pretty much lauded and worshipped by the Greeks up until Plato. And Plato is trying to replace these heroes with Socrates, who is a greater hero, who values justice and goodness, and he's a philosopher, he values wisdom. And so this speech from Alcibiades is trying to basically replace these Homeric heroes with this Platonic hero, Socrates. He is the philosopher king. And so in his attempts to trash Socrates in this particular situation, he really praises him for all the readers of the Symposium. He talks about how Socrates was brave in battle, how he didn't give in to fleshly desires, how he would spend entire nights just standing up, looking at the sky and thinking, and all these things that essentially put Socrates above everyone else in this room and essentially in the Greek canon of heroes, which I think is really interesting. That he took basically he took this book to do that. It seemed kind of removed the idea of love and the idea of praising the god of love. I would have assumed this would happen more in the Republic, and it does, but it definitely shows up a lot here in the Symposium. And it's a really quick, easy read. I'll link the ebook down at the bottom. It was definitely worth listening to. It was a dramatic reading, so every individual was read by a different person. So you didn't have to hear the name of each person before they spoke, which was really nice. And I definitely recommend you look into it. It's pretty short. I think it was 2.5 hours. So yeah, I definitely recommend it. I hope that this has been helpful. And you have a great day.